Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca if we have never met before, and this is my channel where I talk about all the houseplant things. Today we are going to be playing Planty Never Have I Ever, which was started by Girl with a Garden, and I was tagged by Plant with Casey and Plant Life in the Tropics. I have done a Never Have I Ever plant edition on my channel with Nicole and Adam, but some of these questions were different, and since I was tagged, I figured I would do it. So let's just get right down to it. The first one, oh wait, no, I'm supposed to have a drink. Hold on. Come on. Okay. So you guys are truly in luck because I honestly never keep alcohol in my house, but... Oh, sorry, Leo. But the other day, Daniel and I actually went to the grocery store and we got some alcohol because... I don't know, we wanted to make some cocktails, we wanted to just hang out. So I have before me a hard apple cider. This is probably my favorite alcoholic beverage. I really like hard ciders. It's not fancy, but it'll do the trick. So I guess every time I have done something, I will need to take a drink. I'm gonna just take a drink, you know, just to get into it, you know. That's good. Why am I holding this so weird? Has everyone else been this weird in their videos? The first one is, never have I ever killed a cactus. I have who am I? I have killed a cactus. I will say that it doesn't happen super often, but with how many cacti I have had in my life, I have killed one or two. Never have I ever took a plant cutting that was on the ground of a plant nursery. Okay, I have done this. Let me explain. I don't go around on the nursery floors looking for things on the floor to pick up, but there was a time a few years ago when I noticed there was a jade piece on the floor, like a jade succulent piece on the floor, and I picked it up and then I asked if I could take it, and the nursery worker was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And I know a lot of people who do that with succulents, and it's never really a problem as long as you ask if you feel weird about it. Like, if you feel guilty about taking it, then you should probably ask, and if you have to use scissors or ripping or anything of that sort, you probably should not be taking that cutting. There's definitely a point where it becomes stealing, and that's not okay. Never have I ever spent more than $100 on a plant. Yeah, I've spent more than $200 on a plant, if we're being honest. I have an elbow monstera, so that was the culprit of all of that. I don't regret it. It was a plant that I've wanted basically since the beginning of my plant journey, and I waited a long time to find just the right one. It is a plant that is very mature. It has almost 5 leaves and a really nice root system, so I think it was definitely worth the price, and I don't regret it at all. You can spend your money how you want. I saved up for it. I have a business. Daily Plants is a business, and I use that sort of money to buy things like this. But really on the day-to-day, like a normal plant expense, I would probably spend anywhere from $20 to $60 and feel pretty good about it. I don't buy plants super often at all. I'm pretty happy with my collection as it stands, and I'm actually working on getting rid of a lot of things so that I can just feel not so enclosed. Never have I ever bought a plant just because it was trendy on Instagram. Yeah, I have. Pilea peperomioides for one. I've also considered getting a Birkin. You know, honestly, I was super against Birkins because it was like a trendy Instagram plant, but then I saw Adam's Birkin in person and they are actually very, very, very beautiful. I don't know if it's enough to get me to buy one. I think that I would get the plant in person and feel like, okay. I mean, that's usually how it goes with trendy plants. Like, they're trendy for a reason, obviously, but when you actually get it and the only reason that you got it was mainly because it was trendy and you were curious, it doesn't really pan out to be one of your favorite plants. So I think that with all of this, it's important that we kind of develop our own taste in plants and things that we like. I know that nobody in the world likes Phoetonias besides me, and that's totally fine because it's my favorite plant. And for someone else, that plant could be the Birkin. So to each their own. If you want to buy a plant because it's trendy, go right ahead, do your thing, but usually I try not to. Never have I ever met another plant tuber. So I really should just drink the whole thing for this question because I hang out with Adam and Nicole. You guys have seen the videos, and we've hung out more times than we have done actual videos. They really are like some of my best friends for real, and I really enjoy that we have that friendship. And there's been several other plant tubers that I have met in person too and had just the absolute joy of meeting. And is this just plant tubers or is this just like anybody? It's just plant tubers. So aside from Adam and Nicole, I've also met Ash from Plant a Seed with Ash. She also lives in Tucson and we hang out when we can. She's so awesome and she's just like the coolest person, most beautiful person. I love her so much. And I've also hung out with Maria from Bloom and Grow Radio, which is a podcast, but she also has a YouTube show, so that counts too. And I know that there's other people that I've met. Juniper Knots, Sarah, she's a new YouTuber. I met her a couple weeks ago at a plant swap. Who else? I know that I'm probably forgetting someone else, but I have had the pleasure of meeting other people in my space and it's been really, really awesome. Never have I ever neglected a plant and purposely let it die a slow death. Absolutely. Haven't we all done this? I'm sure that it will happen a lot more times in my life. I'd like to avoid doing it as often as I used to, but you know, things happen. Okay, never have I ever purchased a plant and then regretted buying it later. And what was the plant? Yes, of course. I mean, when you buy a plant that is super trendy, you know, I think this is super common, so let me take my drink. I actually made an entire video about plants that I regret buying, and a lot of those situations, it wasn't that I didn't like the plant, it was just that I didn't do enough research about the plant, or I bought a plant thinking it was something else. So I'll link that up in the cards if you want to watch it. I think it's super normal to fall out of love with a plant or bring it home and realize like, why did I just buy that plant? Because when you get in the shop and you see something pretty, you want to bring it home, and then you bring it home and you're just like, As I've grown as a plant person, I'm a lot better at discerning those situations and kind of understanding when a plant is going to be something that I really love and when it's just something that I feel like buying because I want to spend money. I think that's very important to learn as a plant person about yourself. Never have I ever bargained with a plant seller on a sale of a plant. No, I have never done this. And this was something that came up in mine and Nicole and Adam's video, I think. And I've never done this before. I think that it's not super uncommon when a plant is unhealthy to ask for a discount or something like that. I don't think that it should be expected that they would give you a discount if you wanted it, but I wouldn't necessarily judge someone for doing that, you know, given the correct circumstances. I mean, if there's one, you know, misshapen leaf and they're asking for a discount, that's not really how it works. Okay, never have I ever killed a rare plant. I don't think so. No, I haven't killed any of my like harder to find plants because I spend a lot of extra time with them, and we have had a few close calls. One of my anthuriums is now a stump, and it's just all a part of a learning experience. And honestly, if I did kill one of those plants, I wouldn't get super upset about it. I mean, it would definitely suck, but it would be the experience that I had with that plant would be really valuable. And also I think it's really important to work up to the point where you are buying those more expensive plants, because if you start collecting plants and the third plant you buy is this really, really expensive and rare anthurium, I think that's really silly of you. So definitely don't do that. I didn't buy plants like that until a 1.5 to 2 years into my plant journey, until I knew that I could master the care of the easiest plants, and then I kind of worked my way up. Now there are plants in that realm that I still have issues with, obviously, but because I have had that time under my belt and experience and observation, I don't really worry that those plants are going to die because I know how to troubleshoot plants if things start going wrong. Never have I ever traveled over an hour to shop and visit at a plant nursery. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I have. I've traveled to Phoenix before to a plant nursery, but it was for a plant swap, so I don't know if that necessarily counts. But when I was visiting Seattle, I definitely walked over an hour to go to cultivate propagate. And that was because I didn't have a car when I was there. So we just decided to walk there instead and like see more of the city. And it was really nice. So I guess on 2 occasions I've done that. Never have I ever bought a plant that was so large it could barely fit in my car. Yes, I have done this. So if you're familiar, it was on a Lifestyle Sunday video a couple of months ago. I purchased a white ghost euphorbia that is 5 feet tall. That is 5 inches shorter than my body. So it was definitely really difficult to get home. I knew that it wasn't going to fit in my car. I have a very small sedan. And so I ended up taking Daniel's truck. The bed of Daniel's truck is still kind of short. So we had to kind of rig it up so that it was standing straight up. And then in the wind, it kind of bent. So now it still has a little bit of a lean. I think I need to take a drink if I haven't already. Okay, never have I ever showered with my plants. So I have plants that live in my shower full time. I have a really nice setup with a window with like a very deep windowsill. This apartment is so great for plants. I mean, for so many reasons. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants in my shower alone. And 2 of them are actually quite large. So it's kind of funny, but we have found a way to make it work. So I guess I do shower with my plants. I've never brought a plant into the bathroom to shower with, so I guess I drink. Never have I ever went on a no plant buy and it was successful. I was watching Betsy's video of her doing this and she was so confused by this question and I was confused about it too. So what the question is asking is, if I've been on a plant buy and it was successful, I don't drink. I've never done a plant no buy before because I just fundamentally don't agree with them, and I've talked about this now in 3 videos. I think that it's really remnant of diet culture and I don't really agree with it, and I try to avoid diet culture and things that feel like diet culture to me. Also, I don't really think that I have an issue with buying plants. I really am aware of my limitations, and I think that no buys, I don't want to go too much into it because I've actually made an entire video about this. I'll link it up in the cards if you're interested. Never have I ever gotten a plant for free. Yeah, I have gotten a few plants for free. Plant swaps is a way to get plants for free. I've had people send me gifts of plants, like subscribers and friends. I've also had companies send me plants. In those situations, they weren't actually free because I made a video and spent hours and hours making the video, editing, commenting, all of these things. Never have I ever bought a plant as a gift for someone else, but then decided to keep it for myself instead. No, I've never done that before. Wait, have I? No, I've never done that. No, I've been tempted because the plant was so beautiful I wanted to take a cutting, but I didn't. There are actually 2 plants in my home right now that I need to send out to somebody else. I don't want to go to the post office just with everything happening, so I'm kind of just waiting it out. Never have I ever sold a plant online. I have sold a plant online. As I said at the beginning of the video, why can't I talk? Okay. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I am actually clearing out some of my plants and just making some space and clearing up my head space. And so with that, I did sell some plants on Facebook within my city's Facebook group, my city's buy, sell, trade group. Oh my God, this is getting harder and harder to speak. I'm a lightweight, you guys. Like, I've hardly drank anything and I'm already having issues speaking. I did sell plants in a local buy, sell, trade group. And that's probably the only way that I'm going to sell plants moving forward, because then it's just like pick up only. I don't have to ship plants. And honestly, like a lot of the plants in my collection, I'm looking around at it, a lot of the plants are plants that I've imported or bought online, so they wouldn't be available in local nurseries. If I am selling a plant that is harder to find, I'm going to sell it locally because I want to give my direct community access to that before I would open it up to everybody else. So sometimes I get messages of people asking me to sell them a cutting or gift them a cutting or sell them a plant, whatever it may be, and the answer 100% of the time is going to be no, and I'm sorry, but I'd prefer to give it to somebody local. Did I drink for that one? I think I did. Never have I ever deleted mean or inappropriate comments on YouTube. Yes, I have. So let's take a drink. This YouTube channel is my space, and I choose how people talk to me in my space. And if someone is going to leave a disrespectful comment, not a comment that is helpful or constructive or something of that nature. If the comment is attacking me as a person or just being straight up rude, I will delete it. I just think that there's a certain way that you're allowed to talk to people, and I don't really want to entertain the people who are disrespectful on my channel. I don't want that to be allowed here, so I do regulate my comments pretty closely, but usually they leave that rude comment and then I never hear from them again. So thankfully they leave and I don't, have to deal with that anymore. So I would say keep a watchful eye out for your favorite creators, and if you see someone slamming them in the comments for no reason, say something. I don't know, because sometimes you can feel like a bully for defending yourself, and that's totally unfair. We should not feel like bullies for defending ourselves on our own channel, on our own video, and that's just what I think. So I know a lot of people who keep those kinds of comments on their videos, and it bothers me and I think about it too much, and I just need that to be out of my space. Never have I ever bought a plant with the intent of propagating its cuttings for sale. There was a time when I purchased this really, really big pot of Sansevieria whalefin from a local nursery, and it had like 11 fins in it, which is so crazy. And I did end up, well, okay, I thought that I wanted to keep them all. I was like, this is so cool, I have all these fins. And then I was realizing that a lot of people were looking for that plant. So I was like, well, why don't I just divide this plant up and sell some of the leaves? And that's the only time I've ever done it, and I don't really want to do that again moving forward, because now I understand the implications of things like that, and I know that there are people who base their entire business off of doing stuff like that, like buying from someone like Steve's Leaves and then selling it for like 3 times the price. And there's a lot of things that I feel are wrong with that, and I don't want to contribute to that sort of MO. If you are gonna base your entire business around that kind of stuff, I think that's pretty shady and a little bit unfair to those companies who are selling for good prices. Okay, number 19, never have I ever went to a big box store run and not gone to the garden center. If we're talking about like Lowe's or Home Depot, of course, I'll go to the garden center every time, so I'll take a drink. If we're talking Walmart, things like that. Wait, do you guys remember when Target had a garden center? That's the craziest thing. When I first got into plants, again, like a couple years ago, I was like, wait, Target has a garden center? Because my family used to shop at the Target garden center like all the time. And I went to Target just kind of looking around, and they didn't have it anymore. So if anyone knows the tea on the Target garden center, please let me know, because I'm very interested to know what's the tea, why don't they have it anymore? Was it not very profitable? Or was there even ever a Target garden center? Am I just dreaming that up? No, I really think that there was. Never have I ever met some of my followers in person. Yes, I have, and oh shoot, I just spilled everywhere. There's a local garden center that I really enjoy, and some of the employees came up and were like, hey, are you Becca Dale Plants? And I was like, yeah. Other than that though, I've met some followers at plant swaps and stuff like that, because I do try to go to those as often as I can, and thankfully I have a lot of local people follow me in Tucson and Phoenix, which is so fun. So hey guys, if you are out there, I'm glad we're hanging out, you know, can't wait to see you at the next plant swap. But anyway, so yes, I have, and I hope that I took a drink for that, because I don't really want to take any more drinks. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and hearing my responses to more never have I ever questions. I hope that you have enjoyed seeing this trend go around on YouTube. I know that it is a lot of fun to see what everybody has to say. Honestly, I feel like everybody has done this tag already, so I'm going to tag my new to YouTube friend, Sarah, Juniper Knots. Juniper Knots. So how you say that? Berry? No, berry, it's not a berry, it's a plant. So if you are up for the challenge, I tag you, so, you know, I'm excited to see your video. All right, you guys, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe to hang out with me more often. I do a lot of plant content. This is a plant video channel. Plant channel. What? Anyway, I'd be really stoked to have you around here more often, so hit that subscribe button if you feel so inclined, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! What do you think it would sound like if the bottle was empty? There's a little bit less in there now. It sounds the same. Alright, I don't think anything's gonna change no matter how much I drink. So, cheers guys, thanks for watching.